This next story gets misconstrued very often by everyone I tell it to. Nobody believes me, and that's why I said it was a lie. The story itself is not a lie, but like, nobody believes me when I tell them this, when I tell them my truth. So here I am, speaking to the nation's youth about it. Hey party people, welcome back. Today is going to be a short reading from my notes app in my phone. If you don't know who I am, I'm Lacey23 on YouTube. You just clicked on it. You might as well read. That's so rude. How am I going to come back from that? Welcome to my channel. I don't have any real plans besides that I'm going to upload this. And we don't know what I'll do next, except I do have all these ideas in my notes. And this one idea I had at the very top of my YouTube ideas, my first one I ever came up with, says bleaching my eyebrows at home, in parentheses, not good. Meaning I knew it would go bad and I would look stupid after. And so I wanted to clickbait it, but like it was real and it said not good. So obviously I didn't do that because that's horrible. And that idea is just never going to be happening. The first thing I was going to do, though, is kind of introduce you to my notes app. And now I'm not going to screen record it because you don't need to see my notes app like that. What if you hack into the mainframe of my phone? When this one says my hot takes, and then the first line says, do a disclaimer of these are my opinion, which is subject to change. You heard her, guys. She told me to do a disclaimer. And it says, Snapchat is the best social media app. True. We shouldn't be labeling sexuality at all. Maybe false. I think clarification can be good to tell people that you're not interested in. But I see where she's coming from. Bottoms and no hard feelings were the worst things I've seen this year. That was 2023. I would like to add the movie Jexy featuring Bumpa to that list. We watched that as roommates and nobody turned it off and it just played for the whole entire thing. It was horrible. It's like Bumper is in love with his iPhone, but the iPhone is like a really jealous girl. Like she's a toxic girl. She like doesn't want him to see anyone else. It would be so crazy good if it was a person, but that defeats the purpose. Who cares about the wonders of the world or what happens when you die? That's what I said. I was talking about this with some people the other day. I currently don't care about what happens when you die, but I feel like when I'm going to be wondering more about what has happened to people that I know when they die, I'm going to care more. But I don't think we'll ever care about the wonders of the world. Like the Bermuda Triangle, who cares? I'm not going there. Why do I care? Why do I care what's going on there? It's none of my business, to be honest. I get Troyan Belisario and Troye Sivan mixed up in my head, and I know who each of them are, right? Because I have a separate crush on each of them. And I don't think either of them are going to be available in any sense, but their names are really the same in my head. Like I really don't ask me to do like a graph where you match A to B and you match. If I had to draw a line from the name to the person, I couldn't if it was both of them. But I know who they are. When I was little, when I was in like 8th grade, I watched a lot of Pretty Little Liars, and I mean a lot, like it was my life, and I made so many PowerPoints about who I thought was A. It was very important to my being. And I did watch oh my god, I'm getting like choked. I'm getting a little bit nervous. I watched a lot of Spencer Hastings. And I was in love. And what's the sounds like? Jules was my first love. And I like to remember it that way. Spencer was my first love. Have you guys ever heard of the Bob's Burgers cannibalism plot? Because you need to look I'll show you. I'll just put the pictures right here, right now. This is what it was originally supposed to look like of Bob's Burgers, and they were going to be cannibals, and it was going to be real. Because in the new Bob's Burgers pilot episode, they the prank is like people think that they're cannibals, but they prove they're like, no, guys, like we're just a regular shop. Like, stop accusing us of all that crazy stuff. But like in the real show, they are just downright cannibals, and they're so scary, and the drawings are so scary. It keeps me up at night. Oh, this next segment of my video is going to be called Elise doesn't know how to behave when she has a crush on somebody. And that's going to be it. So listen in. If you see anything like this occurring when I'm around you, perhaps I have a crush on someone in our general area. But I would like to say that the second story is not true. But it's fun. It just pertains to this was just an umbrella term to like have these stories make sense. But I'll explain it when it happens. This first one though was so real. So I had class at college, right? And it was this class, and it was for my major, and I was there just because it kind of had to be. And I kind of didn't like the class too much. But there was this person in my class who was so attractive, and I was like, you are so hot, and something about them. And they had really cool fashion, and that just kind of like won me over. And they were so nice, and like had a bunch of friends, and I was like, yeah, I just want to be a part of whatever you're doing here at university, And so one day we have a lab together too, which is even worse because now I'm like, oh God, now I have so many opportunities. It's becoming like the last third of the school year, like the last third, and there's finals, and like pretty much nobody's even going to class at this point. I am a great student, but nobody else is going to class. So I'm like, okay, I need to be strategic right now to like really speed things along so that we can be in love. So then I'm finding every opportunity. So I map it out in my head, and I'm like, okay, today we need to have an interaction. We need to speak to each other one-on-one, because otherwise, like, I'm a lost cause. So I'm like, okay, I'm girl mathing, I'm calculating, I'm carrying the X and the Y and the 1 and all that. Okay, so we're in lab together, and I'm like, this is the day we need to talk to each other right now, or else everything is going to fall in shambles. So I'm like sitting there, and by the grace of God or whatever, this person is like, does anybody have a charger? And I was like, yes, I always have my charger, I know. And then this other girl is like, yeah, and I'm like, yeah, and I'm like, stop racing me. So we're scrambling so fast through our bags. I'm scrambling for my life. I'm like, this is my only chance. Like, if I don't get this charger first, then like I can kiss this idea goodbye. And so I grab the charger and I like hold it up like so frantic. I'm like, I have the charger, I have it. And the other girl is like, probably doesn't care at all, and I'm like, I have the charger. And so then I go to give it to this person, and we're in our chairs, and we have to roll in our chairs like all the way across the classroom to give the charger. And then we graze our little fingertips when we give the charger away. And I'm like, yeah, it just like sparks when you put it in the wall, because I got it from Walmart for $5. And they're like, okay, what the heck? And then I'm like, yeah. And so I was really proud of myself then. And then we talked every single time we saw each other after that. And we became lab partners at one point. And I was like, oh yeah, your friends don't stand a chance. Just kidding. Like, it was probably all in good sportsmanship. And then the last day of class, we hugged each other twice, and it was really beautiful. And then we were going to go on a date once, and then it didn't happen. And I actually got so sad. So if you're out there, charger person, give me my charger back. No, just kidding. I got it back immediately. I got it back so fast, so it's okay. This next story gets misconstrued very often by everyone I tell it to. Nobody believes me, and that's why I said it was a lie. The story itself is not a lie, but like, nobody believes me when I tell them this, when I tell them my truth. So here I am, speaking to the nation's youth about it. When I was one of the nation's youth, I had a Webkins named Penelope, and she was a corgi. And every Sunday, this boy, who I will call Ron, like Ron Weasley, that's not his real name, Ron would come and clean our pool every Sunday. And so I would wake up early whenever I noticed he was cleaning the pool, and I would go get Penelope, because Penelope had a huge crush on Ron, like obsession level, obsessed with Ron. And so I would set the little corgi dog, like I would I would sit her up on the window so she could like see out and see him cleaning the pool. And I would open the blinds so that she could see him. And then I would like go about my morning and I would like eat my breakfast or like run around or do whatever I did. And then whenever he was gone, I would take Penelope off the couch and be like, oh yeah, I hope you enjoyed watching your crush clean the pool. And then it was like a funny gag the first time I did it. My parents were like, okay, like kind of a weird joke, but like funny, I guess. But then every single week I was like, Penelope needs to see Ron. And then my parents were like, hey, do you have a crush on Ron? Like, is this like you having a crush on Ron? And I was like, no. If I had a crush on Ron, I would open the blinds and I would stare at him myself. Penelope has a big old crush on Ron and it's really embarrassing for her, so she just needs to watch him. Like, I just do this because I, want to encourage her interests. And so they were utterly convinced that I had this crush on Ron, and like my way of showing it was that I would put Penelope up by the window. And it happened for months. And like, I wonder if Ron ever noticed that a stuffed corgi Webkins would appear in the window and the blinds would open like after 30 minutes of him cleaning the pool every Sunday. Ron, if you're out there, it wasn't me, it was Penelope, and I'm so serious about that. But yeah, that was pretty formative to my childhood. Was getting accused of things I didn't do and didn't believe and didn't think and didn't feel. Being invalidated every day. So yeah, if you're wondering what it really looks like when I have a crush on somebody, it's the way that I look at Spencer Hastings from Pretty Little Liars. Not Troye Sivan. Troy and Belisario. I gotta go. I love you very much and have fun. Give someone a charger if you love them. Or if you like them a little bit. Bye.